How we getting on, folks? Look at fairly decent day in Fairyhouse the last day. Obviously, look at That ran a very good race at 5-1 for an each way place. Um, Patron winner 11-4, very nice winner at that. Broker's tip didn't really run the race that I was hoping for. But Dixie Bluebell 3-1 and San Andreas went out to 14-1. If you got on each way, you're fairly happy with that. But the nap of the day didn't get any sort of run at all. But moving on anyway to tomorrow, and Limerick is back on the cards. And in fact, it's an all chase meeting. There's no hurdles, no bumpers. It's all chase races. I'm absolutely loving the look of that. I really do enjoy chasing races, and it's like Christmas come early for me anyway. That's one thing for sure. First race off though, the 120 and a fairly competitive heat. Nero Rock takes the favoritism here at the moment, but one of two Henry de Bromhead horses look to be the one to nab him. And for me anyway, Eagles Moon, ridden by Rachel Blackmore, looks to be the one to beat. Put in a few good runs last time out, fourth and sixth. It's starting to get a little bit more experienced in the chasing fields. Should really put experience to the test here. And I think Rachel Blackmore here on board definitely does speak an awful lot of confidence about it. I think it's going to be the better of the two. Looking at the quality of the field, it looks like it can potentially make experience go to the test here. It's one of the most experienced horses in the field over a chase and fence, and realistically it could, I suppose, like I already said, put experience to the test and win at 7-2. Realistically, I think the only horse that needs to worry about is Nero Rock, but Chasing Abbey, maybe an each way play there at 6-1, could definitely be a bit of a shout as well. 155, to be quite honest with you, is going to be one of a double here for me. Gin on Lime should definitely take all the stopping here. Looks to be the class act of the field, providing it stays on its feet, which I wouldn't necessarily suspect it wouldn't, but it should definitely win by a fairly cozy margin here tomorrow. There isn't a horse in here that's good enough to potentially trouble it. Looks to be a fairly weak affair, and Gin on Lime should make a bold bid for a hat-trick attempt here. 2:30, going straight from one to the nap of the day. Druid's Altar, 11-4. Realistically looks to be a very nice chasing prospect here. Put in a very good run last time out in Clonmel. It was beaten at evens favorite, but really stayed on very well that particular day and put in a fairly decent show. Didn't necessarily jump too badly, but I really like the look of the way it battled back when passed by Arvico Blue. I think it's not necessarily interesting, but it's definitely looks to be one of the more likelier ones on ratings alone. It is one of the better rated horses in the field. I definitely think it's going to take an awful lot of stopping. Keep an eye on Alice Avril. It's very interesting, the fact that Henry de Bromhead goes straight for chasing with this one. Rachel Blackmore on board again. You can't really right her any wrongs. She is one of the best jockeys we have in Ireland, and definitely would it would definitely take plenty of interest anyway. But for me anyway, Druid's Altar is just that little bit too good and should definitely be the one they all have to beat. 11-4 is definitely nap-worthy contendership. Next race off then, the 3:05. And I'm going to take a bit of a chance here now with this one. There's a horse in here for Edward O'Grady, ridden by Philip Enright. Slowly but surely starting to creep down the weights and put in a very good run last time out for seasonal reappearance, called Allardyce. This one here currently priced at 11-2, and realistically, it could run a very, very big race. When you look at that run, went third last time out, third of 15, behind Marshall and My Oklahoma. Marshall is a very, very talented sort, ahead of on Marcock, Port Rashid, Storm Flight, Arch Melody, Mr. Bells. I'm not going to go into too much more detail about it, but when you look at the form of that race alone, Marshall is a very, very talented sort, generally first or second anytime he runs, and realistically, Allardyce is definitely a very, very interesting contender here. I definitely think the fact that it is starting to lower down the weights, potentially Galway is the target, but realistically, I think it has got a fairly decent shout in here. Its last win in Mark, its last time it won was in Naas, if I'm not mistaken. That was off a mark of 116. Now it's dropped down to a mark of 104 today, so it's technically £12 better off than its last win in Mark. So there's no reason why this horse cannot win this race tomorrow. There's absolutely no reason why Philip Enright won't be bringing this horse into the winner's enclosure tomorrow. And realistically, 11-2 looks to be a very, very healthy price about it. Next race off then, the 340, and this one here is going to be actually the second leg of the double. I cannot look past global equality here for Joseph O'Brien and JJ Slevin. It looks to be like, I suppose, Henry is going to have a quick fire double in the first two, and Joseph O'Brien is going to have a fairly quick fire double in the space of about an hour. Realistically, this horse here does look to be the one they all have to beat. It's a very, very talented hurdler, and providing it does go well chasing, which I'd have no reason to expect not, she should definitely take all the stop, and she is a very, very talented mare at the end of the day. She isn't necessarily facing the strongest of competition in here. Tune the Cello rated 120. When you look at the hurdle rating for global equity is 125. Yeah, it really should be her race to lose, and realistically, she should definitely take all the stopping tomorrow. Next race off then, the 415, is actually going to be the patron pick of the day for me, so I'm not going to be covering that one. But the next race off then, the 450, the next best of the day for me, and realistically, I cannot look past the way Black Samurai is going. Sean Ahern trained, ridden by Sean O'Keefe, currently priced at 3-1, and realistically, like I said, is definitely going to be the next best of the day for me. Like I said, it is going on the right way, and it is after falling to a mark where it's well capable of striking while the iron is hot, let's just say. As won last two times. One of them was over this course on good ground, beaten Wade Harper, Clundara, Four Courts, Clone Leslie, Johnny's Girl, Aces Full, and Greenway Machine was a faller that particular day. But look, at realistically, I think it has got a very, very nice chance. Sean Ahern is having a fairly decent run of things when you look at the likes of Ghoul and Chosen. I think Gulan Chosen is trained by Sean Ahern. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm nearly certain it is. But Black Samurai definitely is going the right way, and realistically should definitely take all the stopping tomorrow. And finally, then the last race of the day, Ray Hackett was definitely very, very lucky today in Cork, and I suspect he's going to be very, very lucky in Limerick now tomorrow as well. With Stormy Master, ridden by the very, very talented Darragh O'Keefe, currently priced at 11-2. I really, really like the look of this horse. Third last time out, previous course winner. The last time it won over this course was ahead of Capture the Drama and Emer the Rot. I'm not going to say any more because the rest were over 20 lengths in behind, so taking the form into consideration wouldn't necessarily be the strongest of race, but Capture the Drama for Angus King has been a very, very talented horse as well. And Emer the Rot, if I'm not mistaken, has won since, but I couldn't be sure about that. It actually did. It was second the time after in Wexford, pulled up the time before, and won last time out in Roscommon, beating War God by a head and ahead of Viking Horde. So, look, at realistically, I definitely think it's definitely well within his rights to go and win this sort of a race here. Definitely likes the ground around Tipperary. We should appreciate ground conditions tomorrow. 11-2 looks to be very, very good. And yeah, it's definitely a price that I am definitely willing to take for Stormy Master here. But look, I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. For those who want to sign up to Patreon, it's €10 a month. I'll leave a link in the description below for that. We had a lovely winner there, like I said, in Fairy House at 11-4, going from the front and not getting caught. And realistically, we have some very, very talented horses running tomorrow in the Patreon as well. So if you want to sign up, look, I leave a link in the description below. You'll get automatic entry into the monthly giveaways as well. We haven't given away this month's giveaway yet, so it's still plenty time to get your name down and get your name in for the draw. Look, if you're not in, you can't win. And as well as that, we will give you automatic access into the WhatsApp group for the members as well, which has been very, very successful over the past couple of months as well, in terms of, I suppose, a punting aspect, and overall it's just a bit of a crack aspect as well. But look, I'm going to leave it there. The very, very best of luck tomorrow, and hopefully we're on the back of plenty of winners again.